everyone. I'm Isaiah Broussard.
And I'm Stephen Patrick Kelly, and the camera is right over here.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Looking at this.
I can see you this week. Yeah.
So we just watched the third episode of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure.
And, look, I mean, what can I say? You know, I mean, you could really, look at the last two videos and see what I said the last time. Nothing's really changed. I mean...
Really?
I'm just saying.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
you didn't like this awesome fight?
It's just over the top.
In the
I don't want to use the term over the top because, I mean, you know, a lot of the things we watch and see and do are over the top. But, I mean, this was just bizarre, I guess.
I wonder why.
Is the right word to use.
Okay, so we start off the episode... And Jonathan is confronting Dio inside their family mansion. And Dio is trying to weasel his way out of the situation by pretending that he's sorry for everything he's done while he's just trying to use the opportunity to stab Jonathan.
Jojo is busy, almost believing him, you know, until REO Speedwagon comes to save the day.
Speedwagon the Meddler. He likes giving himself little titles like that. But yeah, that's totally what he was doing. He was meddling in this situation. Yeah. But to a good end, because Jonathan was about to fall for Dio's ploy, and Speedwagon steps in and he says, "No, he's trying to tell you that he's a bad person because he grew up poor.
Because you're too dumb to figure it out yourself, apparently." But
Jonathan is trusting. And so Speedwagon was there to just say, "Hey, dude, this guy's rotten. He's completely rotten. Don't trust him." And that's when Jonathan's father and the police show up to confront Dio, and Dio tries to say, "Well, go ahead and arrest me yourself, Jonathan." And that's when Dio takes the opportunity to attempt to stab Jonathan, but kills Jonathan's father instead because he steps in and takes the blow.
The whole entire thing was unnecessary, honestly. I mean, if you tossed his behind to the curb, from the jump, you'd still be alive right now. I mean, Jonathan's dad finally believes that he's evil after all of these years in the final few seconds of his life. And he's sitting around here telling Jojo, after they killed him, because Dio became a vampire, I guess. Anyway. Bury him right next to me and everything else. And I'm like, really? I mean...
Well, the thing is, and we're shown in a flashback just how trusting the Joestars are, because it's revealed that shortly after... the scene that we see in the very first episode where Dio's father, Dario, attempts to rob the wrecked stagecoach where, Jonathan and his father are, and he later tries to pawn off the ring, and a police officer warns George Joestar about the situation, but George, Jonathan's father, lies to the police officer and says that, I gave Dario this ring. And then he asks Dario to change his life around. Of course, we know that he doesn't.
He doesn't, and, that's why things have led to where they are right now.
But, the really sweet thing about George's character is that he blames himself for Dio becoming the way that he did. He says that maybe... if I hadn't put that trust in his father, then he wouldn't have grown up to be that way, and that's possibly true, because it was probably would have been a lot better for Dio if his father stayed locked up, because he was an abusive jerk of a dad. But he goes even further to say that, maybe him being too hard on Jonathan in front of Dio was to Dio showing how much he cared about Jonathan. And that he didn't show him that same kind of strictness. He was afraid that also could have been the reason why Dio became the way that he was. And it's just, you feel really heartbroken for this man as he lays on his...
Broken for him.
as he lays on his deathbed and he's just blaming himself for the horrible monster that Dio became. When Dio was always he was always going to be this jerk. Well, maybe not always, but he certainly was since the day he walked into the Joestar Manor. But from there, Dio uses the blood of Jonathan's father on the stone mask and turns himself into a vampire. And then things seem to get very wild. We see a police officer get his head cut off.
That was probably like the wildest part of the episode. Like, for him to just scoop that man's head like ice cream and just rip it like right from his body. That was just like, honestly, I didn't see that coming. If there was a high point for me in this episode, that was the highest point for me. But after that, it just kind of sort of just goes downhill.
If there's a high point for me, it's the way that everyone speaks everything that's on their mind. And often I would probably say that's bad storytelling. But for JoJo's, it comes off very camp. Everyone does it, and it's ridiculous when they do it. And then you have Speedwagon, whose entire character is to provide exposition to the scenes by thinking out loud.
He's like a walking narrator.
I love him. Yeah. But yeah, the battle ensues between Jonathan and Dio. Jonathan picks up a spear off of a statue of. Actually, it's a suit of armor that they have in the house. And that spear just keeps on popping up throughout the entire episode.
His best friend for the rest of the episode.
And he stabs Dio with it, but Dio just kind of breaks it off and stabs Jonathan with it in return. And Jonathan keeps the spear in his shoulder for several minutes. He's climbing. He's climbing up a banister, trying to get to another level to escape from Dio for a while, and he's still got the thing in his arm, and then when Dio gets up to him, he stabs Dio, and then later he knocks Dio off the banister, and they're falling down the banister, and then Dio kicks him off him, and then the spear shows up again, and Jonathan is able to use it to climb up again.
If at one point the spear had showed up, like, for JoJo to thank, like, thank you, Spear. I half suspect the Spear probably would have winked at him.
I think the Spear was the real hero of this episode. The Spear is what defeated Dio.
Right. It's just like, I gotta do everything myself,
So yeah, in the end, Jonathan's able to overpower Dio, and he stabs him on a statue, and the house burns, and Jonathan is very conveniently blown out of a window of the mansion.
Okay, let's go... When they're falling in, I guess what, the chimney is, or...
No, they were on the roof at first.
They were on the roof.
And they fall through the roof.
They fell for like 2 days. It took forever for them to like reach the bottom of the freaking house. They have like a whole exposition between the both of them talking back and forth, like thinking and everything else.
That's dramatic time. You see it all the time. You watch... Anytime anyone's falling in any anime, it lasts forever.
I was getting thirsty watching this happen. You had to refill it as we were watching them fall. It didn't actually happen, but still.
Yeah. So that's how we finish the episode. The house burns down with Dio in it, and next time we'll find out what happens from here with Jonathan and what new challenges he has. But for now, we're gonna watch another episode of Fist of the North Star.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really cool.
See you guys then.
Bye.